Okay, so it is the day after Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida, and as I requested, she did shift to the right. So I am in Georgia, and it just so happens that we had three tornadoes in the area of where I'm at, and I'm not in Atlanta. And so I speak on a lot of things about one being protected because today I'm in an RV park, as I was in an RV park yesterday, and I've had some people come to me and they're like, there's nothing wrong around your RV. And yet there's somebody with a tree that fell into their RV and is completely damaged, right? Like roof completely into the roof. There's another tree that completely snapped in half, and we're talking oaks, right? We're not talking like small trees. We're talking oaks, right? There's another guy, the tree broke in half and is on his power line because some people are residents here. They're not like me. They're full-time living here in the RV. But the next thing I want to talk about two aspects of the lesson from this. One, the power that we have. And I know I have the ability and the power to connect with the elements, the wind, the rain, water. We're like this, right? Water and I, we're like this. My throat chakra is connected to the water, right? So when I'm able to impact weather events. Now, and that's okay. My main thing is I didn't want anybody to be harmed or whatever, in the middle of it. But I know that the energy has to come. The next thing is I was up during the hurricane when we lost power here, and I did not turn on my generator because I didn't want to turn on my generator in the middle of the tornado. I just let the blinds open and just watched and observed in awe and peace and thankfulness and acceptance, right? That was the energy I was in. I didn't want anything to happen to myself. So, of course, I put my shield of protection around my RV. And I heard the trees fall because it was like real thugs, hard. And I saw the trees bending and I can show you guys. As a matter of fact, let me move this over and show you some of the trees. You see over there, see how there's all those fallen trees that they've been putting in spots. But look at how big these trees are. Look at how big those are. Now these aren't even the big giant ones like what's up on the other side that fell down. That one looked like it was really. So I saw these trees bending and half and dancing and having a conversation, a communion with the weather that was taking place. And I didn't sleep because I can't sleep well when it's hot. And I did not have my fan out, but it is out today. And by the way, another side note, this fan has a light. Of course, it has a fan. Let's turn that off because I need to save my battery. I got to charge it back up when I go here. So I didn't have that on. So it was really hot. Let's turn that light off. It was very hot. Oh, excruciating hot. So I don't sleep well in the heat. So that was a problem until daylight. And then daylight, when everything was over, 7 this morning, I turned my generator on. And of course, turning my generator on, I realized I could not keep it on forever because of the fact that it runs off of gas, right? So because it runs off of gas, if there's no gas, or if it gets to a certain point, halfway or something, or 3/4 of a tank, then you will not be able to use your vehicle, right? You could run out of gas. And so the generator cuts off because it's trying to keep you from running out of gas, right? So that part I understood. So the AC didn't run the whole time because as my gas went down, the AC cut out, but then other things were still running. So I just used it to charge up some things and get my fan going and stuff like that. Next level of this, these are all things that we got to be aware of. So as the day progressed, and I did get a quick nap at some point, but we didn't have power, we didn't have electricity, really didn't have Wi-Fi really, and I was able to get my Wi-Fi in intermittently, but that's the least of things. As I got myself together and I was like, hey, I need to go get gas, right? So I get ready to leave. The owner of the RV park is really, really kind lady, and she stopped and said, hey, nothing's open as far as food is concerned. And I said, oh, I got food. I got weeks worth of food. I'm not worried about food. You know, I don't have to even cook my food. I got so I have food that it's not going to be an issue. But I said, I just want to see if I can find gas. And so I went out, looked for gas, and on my first pass, there was no gas. Not even the Walmart had gas, and there was only one light that was actively working. And so when I come back, and of course I could see all these trees down and everything, I noticed I did not see any power companies out doing any work. So that indicates we're not getting power anytime soon. But I came back and I saw this tree company was out here trying to remove the tree that fell onto that power line. So maybe tomorrow there'll be gas. So I was here and I was just gonna go. I was gonna go to Jacksonville. But then when I tried to book the Jacksonville, the app wasn't working. And so I called and they were like, oh yeah, you know, just book it. We have spaces. And for me, when things don't work like that, it's a no. So one of the neighbors out here came to me to tell me something, and he wanted to tell me about the tree and show me that it's on this line. So as I was getting ready to walk back to my RV and, you know, contemplate where else will I go as far as leaving to go to another spot, because anywhere I go is going to be 200 miles to wherever I'm going to get to an RV spot that's not impacted, that doesn't have damage. So I was headed back, and then the owner of the RV park came and she said, hey, did you find gas? Because somebody else found gas. Because I told her no, I couldn't find gas anywhere. So I went to another person who's out here who just so happens to have the same RV that I have, and introduced myself, and she said, oh, I got gas. I went here. It's only, you know, about 7-8 miles away. And that brings me to the point of community. Because a lot of us in the RV nomadic space, we are good being by ourselves. But we forget sometimes that we still have to have a sense of community. Because other people who are alone, they are in this together. And that community is important because people have information. And no matter what a person's age, race, sex, gender, you know, because whatever they are, whomever they are, they always have something, some knowledge that you don't have, because they come with their life experiences. So I went to this woman who is now going to be a permanent resident here, and she's like, gave me a tip: don't call this company out to bring you gas, because they're going to charge you $50 just to bring you a tank of gas, right? So you got to pay for the gas and $50. Mind you, I had gas. I had 3/4 of a tank of gas that was going to last me for a while, but I wanted to get more gas. And so she said, hey, I went here, go check it out. It's about 7 miles down. I went. That place was already out of gas. This brings me to the next part. Having reliable apps, having reliable companies that you belong to, that you can pull up a search on your phone and say, where's the closest Love's? Where's the closest Pilot? Which is the next thing that I did. Because what I know is Pilot and Love's, they have tankers that bring them gas. Pilots and Love normally have gas when nobody else have gas. So I pulled up the app, and lo and behold, there was a Pilot that was about 5 miles from where I was, and there was a Love that was 1.2 miles from where I was. So I went to the Loves, and I belong to all these different companies: Loves, Pilots, Camping World, Camping Life, all these different ones. And I paid the membership fee to belong to these places, because then I get 10% off here, 10% off there, which is helpful in this time because everybody's price gouging a lot. So I went there, and I was able to get gas, and I was able to get gas in a gas can, which gives me a little bit of spare gas, right? And the last part about this, oh wait, let me back up one more time and go to community. This RV park was a hot mess with all the limbs down. And the owner and her spouse, they were out here cleaning up. And I saw several of the residents out here cleaning up as well, raking up the leaves, taking things to put to a pile. They have a burn area going for some of the stuff. Just several people being involved in the cleanup process. I did go out and do a little bit of stuff, but you know, your girl don't do heat so well. It was 86 degrees, and I said, you know what, I got to go back to the fan. But I'm going to get some stuff out. The next part was, while I was gone, when I came back, they had cleaned off my spot. I mean, completely blowed it off to where it was nice and all the debris was gone. And again, more people was like, you have nothing going on. It's like there was an issue. And I'm under a tree. I am under a giant oak tree. As a matter of fact, that oak tree is on my RV, and I really have issues with it because there's these ants that live there, and they're always crawling into my RV, and I'm so like, but yet and still, nothing happened with me with that. So the last part of what I want to say to you is, when I had to drive out, and I was gone for maybe an hour and a half total. When I was driving out, I noticed that I let the windows down, and although it was 86 degrees, there was a lot of peace, and it felt beautiful. It felt rejuvenating. It felt glorious. So I enjoyed riding with no AC, windows down, just enjoying the nature. And the lights were out, so people were having to stop, and they were having to wait for the next person. They were having to pay attention. They couldn't be all rushed and on the phone. It was very nice. So that lets me know that I should remember to see the beauty and the joy in every situation, to appreciate everything that is happening, that is coming my way in that situation. And I did. So this is a rather long video, and I try not to make them too long when I'm just talking, but it is. So for those of you who are out there considering living in an RV, either part-time or full-time, if you're doing this 3 months out the year, 6 months out the year, or 12 months out the year, whichever one it is for you, understand that things happen, and wherever you go, there's going to be something. There's places where there's tornadoes, there's places where there's snow, of course there's places, there's hurricane, there's mudslides, there's places where it's not safe to be a woman, where it's not safe to be anybody of color. There's lots of places. But there's more places where the people within the RV nomadic community want to live a simple, peaceful life, and they're willing to help each other. I find a whole lot more places like that. Okay? All right, you guys. Good luck in your endeavors, and stay safe. Bye.